Hello everybody, we would like to welcome you to our presentation today. The purpose of this presentation was to interview social care practitioners currently working in the field and to gain insight into their professional experiences. We hope that you enjoy our presentation.
Throughout this presentation, we will discuss the background of the social care practitioners we interviewed. We will look at their story and the three theories of dual relationship, threshold concept, and professional identity. We will also look at similarities and differences in their professional experiences, positives and negatives in their experiences, how we can apply this to our own future practice, and a short conclusion.
Mark is an aftercare worker in the west of Ireland. After finishing his degree, Mark went travelling. When he came home, he worked in the disability sector. Mark realised that this work just wasn't for him, so he then headed off for New Zealand. Mark returned to Ireland at the age of 26, where he worked in residential care. He found his niche in aftercare, where he has been working for the last 2 years.
Hannah began her career as a hairdresser and taught traveller women hairdressing skills. She enjoyed this work and continued to do intercultural work with the Aboriginal tribe when she moved to Australia. When she returned home, she did a social studies degree in Maynooth and a master's in community development in NUIG. She now works as a youth worker in the west of Ireland.
Dual relationships is a set of multiple relationships in which one is a professional and the others are of a social, financial, or professional nature. This is where there is a professional working capacity, but also dealings with people outside of the working environment. When dual relationships are unavoidable, social care practitioners must protect clients and set clear, appropriate, and culturally sensitive boundaries.
Hannah experienced one particular case where she knew a girl who came to do mental health work through family connections. Once the young girl realised who Hannah was, she no longer wanted to attend meetings, which caused Hannah to reflect on her own professional identity. In the end, the girl ceased the classes with Hannah, which she now feels was probably the best outcome for the welfare of the child.
While Mark was doing his social studies degree, he went on placement to a drug rehabilitation clinic. He met clients there that he knew outside of the clinic. Therefore, he found it difficult to form professional relationships. It was only after Mark's tea got spiked one evening on one of the units that he sought help from his supervisor about developing professional relationships with clients.
Threshold concepts are akin to a portal, opening up new and a previously inaccessible way of thinking about something. They are seen to show a transformed view of subject matter. There are 5 key characteristics: transformative, irreversible, integrative, troublesome, and bounded. Caring in particular is seen as a threshold concept in itself.
Mark worked with a young male. An attachment consultant advised him to try and form a positive attachment with the boy. Mark then took on the role of a big brother. This was difficult for Mark, as previous to this he was taught that all relationships with clients must be professional. He can now relate to young people better, as he used to think too much about boundaries. He can now be more open around clients.
Hannah experienced many threshold concepts in her career. Following on from a number of difficult incidents with young males in the centre, Hannah spoke to the Gardaí. They told her to relate things back so young people took ownership of their own problems. Asking the young people questions such as, "Do you like coming to the centre?" allows them to think more about their actions and offered Hannah a whole new way of dealing with such situations. A profession is an occupation in which the amount of financial returns is not the accepted measure of success. It is particularly seen in the field of social care. The development of professional identity means first and foremost self-discovery and self-awareness through work. This process is invoked by the choice of profession.
Mark explained that experience and time were the key elements in forming professional identity. At the start he said he took on too much and that he didn't fully listen to his co-workers. From doing this he learned that he could only do what he was capable of. Reflection is how Mark continues to develop his professional identity by knowing where, what and why he is carrying out tasks.
Professional identity was something that Hannah felt came naturally to her, mainly due to her life experience and the fact that she began her studies as a mature student. Hannah has said that practice placements are very important to developing identity. She reflected that when she finished college, she really pushed herself to make connections, and work experience in the form of internships really helped her and benefited her professional identity. Both of the interviewed practitioners work in rural areas. They both said that because of this, they had to work harder to build networks with people professionally. They also agreed that it was accepted culture in close-knit communities for people to talk amongst themselves about others, so they do not socialise in the towns where they work and maintain confidentiality of clients at all times.
Mark did his degree in Sligo, whereas Hannah attended Maynooth. Mark said his course was quite practical and he benefited greatly from doing placement, which helped develop his professional identity. Hannah explained that her course was academically driven, so she didn't carry out placement, so she only developed professional identity while in the working force.
Both Hannah and Mark felt that traveling helped their personal development, which then impacted directly on their professional identity. They both traveled Australia and America respectively, and each felt that this opened their eyes to their true professional calling, and the experience of living in a different culture benefited them greatly. They each felt that graduates should give themselves the opportunity to travel.
Neither Hannah or Mark studied administration in college. They said that when they entered the field, they did not have any knowledge in filling out any relevant documentation. Both practitioners said that they would have benefited greatly from studying an admin module in college, as it is a big aspect of their work. Mark explained that effective communication among staff was very important. He said that the art to good communication was to listen, respect others' opinions, coming up with solutions, and working outcomes. He said that time, experience, and reflection was also a very important part of being a social care practitioner.
When I interviewed Hannah, she told me that networking and building relationships with other professionals was hugely important. She highlighted the benefits of having the confidence and ability to pick up a phone and ask other professionals advice in difficult situations. Hannah felt that in her profession, reflection was very beneficial. She always keeps a journal to jot down key learning experiences. These are both things that I would be able to bring to my own professional life.
To conclude this presentation, we found that interviewing social care practitioners was very beneficial in learning how to be professional in practice and developing a sense of professional identity. We'd like to thank you for listening to our presentation and feel free to ask any questions.